Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for January 5th until the 11th. I'm going to go ahead and start us off. I've already done a scrying session for you and I've got some notes. So if you're not interested in that, feel free to skip ahead to the card reading because I'm going to be drawing Oracle as well as some tarot for you. But diving into the channeled messages, the first thing I was seeing for you during my scrying session was a luminescent being standing on a cloud. So this could indicate that you have a loved one, an ancestor, an angel, a guide that's kind of watching out for you, kind of watching over you is kind of what I got from that. Take it how it resonates. The second thing I was seeing was a cat's eye, like a literal cat's eye, not the stone. So what I had gotten for that was I had to look this up because I'm not too sure about the symbolism there, but according to my research, it was saying that looking into a cat's eyes for too long is associated with bad luck, which is really interesting. Though this is a adage or a superstition kind of brought on by the church because cats were associated with witchcraft, even though we all know that it's rabbits. Speaking from experience, they are the true demons of this world. I'm just joking. So another thing that I was finding about cat's eyes was the eyes are the window to the soul, but it's interesting because the cat's eye is associated with windows to the mystical world, which is really interesting. So you might be gaining a cat's eye view, so to speak. The cat's eye stone is associated with protection, mental health, and luck. The next thing I was seeing for you was a bouquet of flowers. So, I mean, some of you guys could be getting some flowers or giving some flowers, but the symbolism of this represents life, growth, luck, the impermanence of life in Buddhist circles. I mean, the flower blooms and then it withers again, right? It talks about life cycles, joy, and giving a bouquet can indicate thoughtfulness, of course. Next off, I was seeing a jagged mountain peak with foliage on it. So this kind of represents accomplishments, divine inspiration. This can be a sacred space for you, depending on how you feel about mountaintops. This can also talk about initiations, these challenges we overcome. But being on top of the mountain can also talk about having a better perspective, getting kind of a bird's eye view. Next, I had been seeing a moth. The moth represents ancestors. I felt this went really well with the luminescent being on the cloud. But moths also represent secrets and divinity, purification and death, inspiration, growth. And I also wrote down they fly in the dark towards the light. So I feel like that was kind of important. Lastly, I had seen a person in a cloak walking with a staff. It definitely looked like very hermity, we'll say. I had wrote this down as a quest for the truth, being a deep thinker, being very wise. The only thing the hermit warns us of is emotional detachment. So, with that being said, I'm going to dive right into your card reading here. We're starting with the Shaman Oracle. We'll see if any of these channeled messages pop up for you, but those are just kind of out and about if any of that resonates for you guys. Now, if you're curious about the full reading for 2025, I do have those up, as well as the full readings for January. So feel free to check those out. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. It really does help the channel out. As you can see, my channel is still fairly fresh and new, so I do very much appreciate you guys. Alrighty, one more from my Quantum Oracle for you after my little spiel. Okay. Alrighty, perfecto mundo. We've got all your Oracle ready to rock and roll for you. I'm just going to pull some Manga Tarot. We're going to pull a couple of these, and I will be clarifying them with my Shadowscapes Tarot as well. And once again, this is for Gemini from the 5th to the 11th of January. Alrighty. Perfect. Ready to rock and roll, baby. Okay, so I will be clarifying these Manga Tarot, as I had said, with my Shadowscapes here. I'll just give them a quick shuffle, but we're going to dive right in. So it looks like for the Shaman Oracle, you are getting the Spirit of Destruction. Interesting, especially as we had gotten the Moth, which in the scrying session, the Moth, as I had said, kind of talks about purification and death. So, I mean, Spirit of Destruction here, this Shaman Oracle kind of represents death for a new beginning. This almost kind of takes on the shape of a butterfly if you look at it from the side, or like an angel, something like that. Now, next up for the Herbiary deck, we are getting Mugwort, Between Dreams. Interesting. I really like this. So Mugwort, yes, is definitely associated with witchcraft in many forms, obviously associated with dream work and things like that, divination. Usually it pertains to contacting entities and things like that. Which I do really like to see that, because we had seen the luminescent being standing on a cloud for your scrying session. So, I mean, this indicates that there are guides, angels, spirits around you they're accessible if you're wanting to, contact them. Mugwort might be helpful for you to look into that one. Now, it's interesting. The moth, and the moth talking about death and destruction and things like that. But it's interesting because it also talks about ancestors. It talks about this growth, this moving from the dark into the light, its secrets and divinity. So I feel like this fits quite nicely with the the Between Dreams situation here. Now, we were also getting for the Quantum Oracle the Spirit of Intuition and Manifestation. So this is really interesting. This talks about making clear on your dreams and using your intuition. This might be helpful This might be helpful in working with Mugwort or doing some lucid dreaming, dream journaling, things like that might be really helpful at this time. But manifestation is something we bring from our minds into our hearts and our intention, and then we bring in the footwork to make it happen. That is how we manifest. So we're going to dive right into the tarot portion of your reading. We'll see how the rest of this fits together for you. But it looks like you're starting off the week at the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles is talking about this good, studious, hard work that you're doing here. You've got your pentacles all lined up. And 8 is you're kind of nearing completion on this project. The number 8 kind of symbolizes eternity, cycles, this inner strength, and your will. So that looks really good. Whatever you're working on, you're working hard, and it looks fantastic. Now this brings you into the 9 of Swords. The 9 of Wands, my apologies. The 9 of Wands is telling you to stand your ground, hold your ground. You might need to put up boundaries if necessary. So we're going to see how this entails. I'm very curious to dive in, because we move into the 5 of Swords. And this is talking about this fight that's occurred. It can refer to a defeat. This can refer to losing with dignity and grace. So I'm very curious how this is going to line up for you, Gemini. So I'm going to shuffle these Shadowscapes one more time, and we're going to get right into it. Once again, this is for Gemini from the 5th until the 11th. Spirit, what is the Eight of Pentacles for Gemini? Being confirmed by the Lovers. So the Lovers is talking about a more positive mindset. It's embracing yourself, your authenticity, and embracing the world around you. It's intuition. I really like that, especially with our intuition and manifestation popping up. But it talks about intuition, trusting yourself and your feelings. This can also indicate positivity surrounding relationships, lovers, friendships, things like that. So that looks really good. We're going to take another one, Spirit. Ooh, and the Ace of Cups. This talks about, once again, intuition, trusting your feelings. Your cup is overflowing. This is like a gift from Spirit, basically. So this is really interesting. Whatever you're working on currently, it looks like you're thinking very positively about it. You're pressing forward. You're trusting your intuition. And it feels like things feel very light for you at this time. And I mean, this blessing from Spirit here of your cup overflowing, this could definitely be pertaining to these entities that are kind of around you at this time, your angels, your guides, things like that. But I mean, the person in the cloak that I had seen for you, as well as the mountain peak and the moth, they all talk about this intuition, this divine guidance, this divine journey that you're taking here. It's a very magical time, it looks like, for you, Gemini. So we're going to press forward into the Nine of Wands, Spirit. What is the Nine of Wands for Gemini? Ooh, Holy Major Arcana, Batman. So you are getting the Empress is confirming the Nine of Wands. So as we had said, the Nine of Wands talks about standing your ground, putting up boundaries. You're very strong and stationary, we'll say. Not afraid to stand your ground, put up boundaries, right? And the Empress talks about your energies being balanced at this time. It's very harmonious. And this is talking about, she's kind of directing these butterflies, maybe some of them are moths, but she's kind of directing them into this beautiful dance here, this beautiful change. So this can talk about like security in your material matters, like things are looking a little bit more fortunate. And I feel like this is from you holding your ground here, these blessings from Spirit in your endeavors here with that Eight of Pentacles. This hard work that you're putting in is not going unnoticed, is what I'm kind of hearing. It's like Spirit is kind of watching over you and ready and willing to reward you for the work you are putting in, Gemini. So we'll take another one for that Nine of Wands here, Spirit. Okay, so we are getting it confirmed by the Eight of Wands. I like this. The Eight of Wands talks about a flow state. And it's like things are moving very quickly for you at this time. It's like things kind of happen easily and effortlessly. Like there's just this beautiful flow. And this tells me you're moving in the right direction. Whatever you're doing this week, keep going. Like you are doing the right things. You're following your intuition. You're kind of like, I'm getting that you're thinking very clearly and you're trusting yourself. Like I feel like every step you're taking is very sure. So we're going to move into the Five of Swords. I'm just going to shuffle my Shadowscapes one more time before we dive into that guy for you. Very curious what this Five of Swords is showing up. I'm wondering if this is your energy or if this is someone else's. It feels a little alien. It doesn't really feel like you. Just seeing the way the rest of the reading has been going so far, I'm curious. What is this Five of Swords, Spirit? Spirit, what is the Five of Swords for Gemini? Confirmed by the Nine of Swords. Interesting. So the Nine of Swords talks about a self-inflicted cruelty. It's like a never-ending nightmare, something you're ruminating over, something that's causing you a lot of pain, that's kind of cutting you repeatedly. And it's like it's painful, but it isn't quite at the point where you're able to move past it. We'll take another one, Spirit. Okay. And I feel like this might be surrounding a decision that you're needing to make with the Seven of Cups here. And it's like all of a sudden, it's so strange because the first part of this reading was going like very smoothly. It was like sure steps, very intuitive. And then it's like this cloudiness kind of shows up. We'll take another one, Spirit. Okay, we're getting the Ten of Pentacles. So let's just take a hot minute here. This is interesting, Gemini. Okay, so the Five of Swords, talking about a defeat and accepting this defeat with grace, right? Not being a sore winner, not being a sore loser type of deal. But it's a defeat in regards to the Nine of Swords. It's something you've been ruminating over has caused you, it feels like a lot of despair. I don't know if you've lost something or you've lost someone, but whatever this defeat is, it's causing you to ruminate over it. And whatever this is, it's requiring a decision to be made. So there's all these cups in front of you, and it's kind of like, well, which one do I choose? What's for my highest good? And I feel like trusting your intuition is going to be key here. This might be really handy doing some dream work to try and get to the root of the problem here. This might require letting something go with this spirit of destruction showing up. Now, this is all confirmed. Whatever decision you're making, it leads you to the Ten of Pentacles. This is beautiful. The Ten of Pentacles is talking about this wealth, this happiness, it's fulfillment, it's a dream that you've kind of uncovered here. Now, the Ten of Pentacles, what it encourages us to do is, if we're looking to increase our position, like such as increasing our wealth, our finances that we've already obtained here, the best way to do so is to communicate with others, to network, brainstorm, working with others, communication, focusing on our connections with this Ten of Pentacles is really going to help kick it into high gear for you, Gemini. So we're just going to do a very super quick recap here for you for the week because there's a lot of information coming at us here. Now, what I am getting, because we're going to go back to the scrying messages here, but the luminescent being on the cloud, very much you are protected. Like, I am definitely seeing guides watching over you every step of the way. I know it might not feel like it, but trust this. This could also just be a loved one that's kind of, I don't know, I just get the vibe of someone working behind the scenes to help you. Someone kind of a nice, gentle guide on your journey is what I'm getting. Now, the cat's eye, the eyes being the window to the mystical world. I mean, well, I don't know. Are foxes part of the cat or the dog family? Let me know. If you know, seriously, let me know. I'm not Googling it right now. It's not happening. But yeah, with the eyes being the windows to the mystical world, like your intuition is very much being highlighted. So please trust yourself, right? And especially that's being highlighted with the moth. The moth lets us know that you're very intuitive and it's this inspiration, it's this growth. You're flying in the darkness towards the light, right? And I mean, the moth also talks about ancestors. This kind of looks like a butterfly or a moth too, this spirit of destruction, which is really interesting. Now, the person in the cloak walking with the staff, it's like, I kind of see that here, this quest for the truth here, deeply thinking about a decision to be made and this rumination happening here, this from this defeat. I feel like you're gaining a lot of wisdom from this occurrence here. And this jagged mountain peak with the foliage on it I'd seen, this is an accomplishment. Being able to defeat being able to go through this defeat and come out at the 10 of Pentacles, stunning, seriously. So I feel like this looks really good. Like there's this is just really interesting. I mean, the bouquet of flowers, you might be receiving or giving one, but it talks about growth once again. You're traveling up this mountain like the hermit is what I'm getting. You've got work ahead of you, but this looks really promising and you're not alone. You have your guides and you can trust yourself. They're communicating to you through your dreams, maybe signs, synchronicities, omens, and your intuition. So trust yourself. But I think I'm going to leave it here for you, Gemini. I hope you have a wonderful day and a fantastic week. Take care now.